A lot of people ask me which airline card is truly the best one out there, to which I'll turn right back and ask them, which airline are you actually loyal to? Because for a lot of co-branded credit cards like hotel and airline cards, that's the best possible starting point. However, there are a lot of people out there, probably like you or me, who don't really care too much which airline they fly, but would be loyal to one if they found a credit card that packed in perks and benefits that they could keep getting surplus value for years to come. For people like that out there, this is the video for you. I'm going to rank all the airline cards and tell you which ones are the best, all the way down to which ones are the very worst that you should absolutely stay away from no matter the circumstances. Let's get right into it. Today, we're going to look at all of the most popular airline credit cards and rank them based on which can reasonably provide the most possible value. For example, a $0 annual fee card that would provide an expected $50 back to you each year using it, that's going to be lower ranked than a card that costs $95 to hold, but we can expect would reasonably provide about $300 back to you in value throughout the year in benefits and different perks. Each one of us has unique travel styles, and of course, these rankings will vary slightly based on your personal situation, so take that into account. And finally, last note, I'm limiting this list to only personal credit cards from the 5 biggest airlines: American, Delta, United, Southwest, and one card from Alaska. So sorry, there's no Spirit card in these rankings. So with all of that out of the way, let's jump right into section 1. Which is all of our airline credit cards with a $0 annual fee. The first card I want to start with is the Delta SkyMiles Blue card from American Express. This card is a $0 annual fee card that comes with a 10,000 SkyMile sign-up bonus and not a lot to offer top to bottom. The card earns 2x miles back to you on Delta purchases and at restaurants, and then a flat 1x back on everything else. And if this seems slim, it is, but just keep in mind that in general, airline credit cards, they don't have the best earnings multipliers, and a lot of the value that you may get out of them, those are found in the benefits that the cards carry. However, on the SkyMiles Blue, there essentially are no benefits. It's only no foreign transaction fees charged and 20% back on in-flight purchases. So if you haven't guessed by now, the bottom line on this card is that it's essentially useless and lands deservedly in the F tier. Moving into the American Airlines Advantage Mile Up card from Citi. Now, one note on American Airlines cards, they have 2 different issuers, Barclays and Citi. However, since Barclays cards will be going away in 2025 into 2026, I'm only going to cover the Citi issued credit cards in that lineup. The Mile Up credit card gets you 2x back on American Airlines purchases, 2x back at grocery stores, and 1x on everything else. And its one benefit is the 25% off in-flight food and beverage. The bottom line I have to share with you here is that the sign-up bonus is slightly better than the SkyMiles Blue. And American Airlines points are very valuable pieces of currency, with NerdWallet valuing them at about 1.6 cents each, which is a really strong valuation. All that said, this card still does practically nothing for you and only lands in the E tier above the Delta SkyMiles card because 2x on groceries can be an okay way to earn miles, and the welcome bonus is slightly bigger, but still a card you should certainly stay away from. United Airlines $0 annual fee card is the United Gateway card, and it comes with a 30,000 mile sign-up bonus. You also have the benefit on any United card of adding an authorized user and getting an additional 5,000 bonus miles. This card has a bunch of earnings multipliers, with 7x back on United flights, with 5 of those being a standard United Mileage Plus member, 3x back on United hotels, with 2 of them coming standard from being a United Mileage Plus member, 2x on other United purchases as well as gas, transit, and local commuting, and then 1x on everything else. The only benefit is the same 25% back on in-flight purchases and purchases made at United clubs. Now this card simply has a great sign-up bonus for a $0 annual fee card. With United miles being worth about 1.2 cents a point, a 30,000 miles sign-up bonus is going to be worth about $360 when redeemed for flights, so head and shoulders above the first two on this list. For that reason, and that reason only, I'm putting this card right into the C tier. We are popping into the next category of credit cards already, and this is our value tier, with all cards in this section coming in with a $250 annual fee or less. It's here that we see our first Southwest Airlines card coming in. At the bottom of their personal card lineup is the Southwest Rapid Rewards Plus credit card with a $69 annual fee. This card is going to earn you a welcome bonus that fluctuates quite wildly and frequently, so check back multiple times if you're interested, but typically you'll see between 40 and 80,000 points. You'll earn 2x on Southwest purchases, 2x on Rapid Rewards rental or hotel purchases, 2x back on local transit or rideshare, as well as 2x on internet, cable, and streaming purchases before 1x on everything else. The benefits that you get are 2 early bird check-ins, as well as 3,000 anniversary bonus points valued between $30 and $45. The bottom line with this credit card is it's not really impressive either. However, Southwest has the famous Companion Pass, where if you accumulate 135,000 qualifying points in a year, you get a buy one, get one free ticket to use for the rest of that year and the entire next year, which is one of the most incredible benefits in any type of credit card. That's where this card sees its most use, from people wanting to commit to the lowest annual fee on the Southwest rung and stack those qualifying points to try to shoot for the Companion Pass. By itself, the card doesn't do too much else. Because of all of that put together, the card lands firmly in the C tier. Next up is the United Explorer card with a $0 intro annual fee for year 1 that then jumps to a $95 annual fee in years 2 and beyond. The Explorer card comes with a 60,000 mile sign-up bonus. This card earns 7x on United flights and 4x on United hotels booked, but remember, a good portion of those come from just being a standard United Mileage Plus member. It also earns you 2x back on other United purchases, 2x back on other hotel purchases booked directly with the properties, 2x back on dining, and 1x on everything else. And finally, this is where we start to see some real benefits packed into an airline card. You get your first checked bag free for yourself, but also if you book one additional companion on your reservation. Bag fees through United cost a standard charge of $40, so each way, that would be a savings of $40 right there with the card. You get 2 United Club passes every single year, a $120 TSA pre-check benefit, and early boarding on United flights. Top to bottom, the benefits on this card are awesome. Not only can you make up the cost of the card when it starts charging that annual fee with the free checked bags, but the United Club memberships can be so valuable. And if you're not a frequent traveler, 2 visits to the United Club may be all that you need in a given year. Then you've got some icing on the cake benefits like the TSA pre-check and the priority boarding, putting this credit card firmly in the A tier of cards for me. Let's move on to the Platinum Select World Elite MasterCard from American Airlines. This card has a $0 intro annual fee, but then charges $99 a year for year 1 and beyond. It comes with a 50,000 mile sign-up bonus, but remember, American Airline points can be really valuable. It earns 2x at restaurants, gas stations, and on American Airlines purchases before 1x back on everything else. As for benefits, you get a checked bag free for you and up to 4 on your reservation, priority boarding, a $125 American Airlines discount, which can be applied to the price of booking flights. However, the discount only kicks in after spending $20K on the card, and the standard 25% back on in-flight food and drink. Unfortunately, I still feel like this card is very meh. It's about as standard as you can get for a mid-tier airline card. The reason being that checked bag fees being eliminated, that's a standard benefit. And then you look to what else the card may provide. Unfortunately, $20,000 of spend to get just a $125 discount on American Airlines flights, that's a lot of spend for not a huge benefit. So you're really gonna have to commit to this card and possibly forego some better earning opportunities on other cards in your wallet just to meet that spend. I don't hate this card, but it doesn't even rise to a mid-tier card for me, leaving it in the D tier. Next up is the Alaska Airlines Visa Signature Credit Card, our only Alaska card on this list. The card has a $95 annual fee, and you can get a 70,000 point welcome bonus plus a companion fare ticket included right now when you sign up. Now, coming shortly will be the first premium credit card from Alaska Airlines. However, since the card's not been released yet, we're not going to go into that today, but Alaska Airline fans certainly stay tuned. This card gets you 3x miles back on Alaska purchases. It also gets you 2x back on gas EV charging, streaming and cable purchases, and some local transit before getting 1x back on everything else. The main and incredible benefit that this card carries is what's called the companion fare ticket. And you get one of these a year. A companion fare ticket is a $99 ticket, plus taxes and fees, which usually come to $20 to $23 depending on where you're going. But that ticket is activated once a year if you buy it on the same reservation as a standard purchase ticket. Depending on how you use this, can obviously come with massive savings. Alaska runs routes with flights costing anywhere between $500 and $600 depending on your destination, and deploying the companion ticket for the right person who needs to bring someone with them when they're going on some of those more expensive trips, that can be savings of hundreds of dollars. The next time you'll see anything close to a companion ticket is going to be at the price tier of $350. So to get this on a $99 annual fee card is simply incredible. And that's why I'm putting the Alaska Airlines credit card into the S tier on this list. Next up is the Delta SkyMiles Gold Card. $0 intro annual fee, but then jumps to $150 in years 2 and beyond. The sign-up bonuses really fluctuate, so I encourage you to check the link below in the description to see what you're being targeted for on this card as well. But typically you'll see between 50 and 80,000 Sky Miles as a welcome offer. You get 2x miles back on Delta purchases, restaurants, supermarkets, and 1x back on everything else. As far as benefits, you get your first check bag free for you and up to 8 others booked on the same reservation, priority boarding, a $200 flight credit once you spend $10,000 on the card, and then you also get a 15% discount on any award flights booked on Delta, as well as $100 in Delta Stays credits. I personally really like the Gold Card, and it's the first card in a run of Delta cards that do pack a lot of value for a fair annual fee. $100 in Delta Stay credits is really easy to use. That's essentially $100 off a hotel you booked, and you get that each year. And at first glance, spending $10,000 to get a $200 flight credit, that doesn't seem like a very good return on spend. But if you did the math and focus that regular spend on the card in the restaurant and supermarkets category, you could spend $10,000 and average 4% back with every dollar you purchase, which is really good in the credit card world. Because of all that, this card goes right into the A tier. Next up is the Southwest Rapid Rewards Premier Credit Card, a $99 annual fee card with again a sign-up bonus that fluctuates very frequently, but look for 40 to 80,000 points. This is the awkward middle Southwest Rapid Rewards credit card. You earn 3x back on Southwest purchases, 2x on Rapid Rewards hotels or car rentals, 2x on rideshare, transit, internet, cable, phone, and streaming, before 1x back on everything else. It does offer 2 early bird check-ins and 6,000 bonus points on your anniversary, worth about $60 to $70, but other than that, there's just not a huge reason to get this card. You're pretty much going to come out even, and the card is simply stuck in the awkward middle in the 3-card Southwest lineup. So I'm putting it into the D tier. You'll get to see the highest end tier Southwest card because that's next up on the list. Coming in at $149 is the Southwest Rapid Rewards Priority Credit Card. It's got the same sort of welcome bonus as the other 2 Southwest cards because they all move in tandem together. This card again earns you the same sort of reward structure as the Premier card, but in terms of benefits, it gives you 4 upgraded bookings, 7,500 bonus points each year, worth about $75 to $90, and a $75 annual Southwest travel credit. Again, the card pays for itself between the bonus points each anniversary and the $75 travel credit, but you're coming out essentially even every single time. By itself, this card just ends up in the D tier. There's nothing too special about what it brings to the table. This card marks a significant break because that is our last value credit card on this list. Now we enter the premium airline credit card category. And this is probably what you've been waiting for. And I think your patience is gonna pay off. Let's start with the United Quest card, which has a $250 annual fee, just barely sneaking it into that premium airline card category. It comes with 70,000 bonus United miles. The Quest card earns you 8x miles back on United flights, 4x back on United hotels, and 3x back on all other United purchases. It also gets you 2x back on travel, streaming, and dining, and 1x back on everything else. As far as benefits, this card really surprises me, as it's missing one massive benefit in my opinion. It does get you the first and second checked bag free for you and a companion on your reservation. That comes to a value of $40 for the first bag, $50 for the second checked bag. It gets you priority boarding and $125 in United credits, which can be used to purchase a flight, effectively reducing the cost of this card and cutting that in half. It gets you TSA PreCheck and the 25% off in-flight food and beverage. Now, when you strip all the benefits down after the $125 credit, it's essentially a free checked bag credit card. And that is disappointing for a quote-unquote premium level card. You'll see the cards I talk about shortly absolutely dominate this card in terms of benefits and value. So I don't really know where the Quest fell short, but in my opinion, it should certainly offer the lounge access that the United Explorer card has at that lower annual fee. Because it doesn't have that there, I'm putting this card into the D tier. The next card up is the Delta SkyMiles Platinum card from American Express. It charges a $350 annual fee, and like a lot of Amex cards, the sign-up bonus really does fluctuate. You can get as high as 90k SkyMiles from what I've personally seen. The card offers 3x miles back on Delta purchases and 3x miles back on Delta hotels, 2x at restaurants and supermarkets before 1x on everything else. It is the first card on this list which truly has a ton of benefits, so let me go through them for you now. You'll get your first checked bag free, Zone 5 priority boarding, a companion certificate after 1 year, and you'll also be on the complimentary upgrade list should that opportunity arise. You'll get a global entry and TSA PreCheck credit, which will cover the cost of those services, 15% off anytime you book an award flight through Delta, $150 with Delta stays, a $120 Resi credit, a $120 rideshare credit, both broken down evenly in monthly increments, and cell phone protection. Now, you guys already know from watching this channel that I think this card is incredible, and that's because of that long list of benefits I read off, even if it comes with a steep $350 annual fee. However, rankings on this list are based on what you put in versus what you can get out. And simply put, the companion ticket given to you after year 1, just for holding the card, you can make up the $350 in annual fees, maybe just on using that benefit by itself, and the rest are icing on the cake. You can check my channel to watch multiple videos I've made on synergies and best strategies to use with this card, but you already know I'm putting this in the S tier. Next up is United's highest tier premium card, the United Club Infinite Credit Card. It comes with a $525 annual fee and 90,000 bonus miles as a standard sign-up offer. You'll get 9x back on United flights and 4x back on United hotels, 4x back on all other United purchases, and 2x miles on travel and dining before going 1x on everything else. You'll get your first and second checked bag free for yourself and one companion appearing on your reservation. You get United Club membership, premium travel services, which is essentially VIP boarding when you boil it down, a $120 TSA PreCheck, Platinum Elite status at IHG properties, and President status at Avis Rent-A-Cars. This is a powerful travel credit card, and the best use case that I see being for it for someone who travels a lot and potentially uses some of those other status benefits. The United Club is going to be an awesome experience, but you're going to want to go multiple times a year on this card to work down that effective annual fee from $525. When you get complimentary room upgrades through IHG hotels, gives you a reason to stay there, and for people who rent cars, the 2 car class upgrades through Avis status, that's going to be a nice experience benefit to take advantage of. This is a really good card for experiences and benefits that you think of that a luxury travel card should provide. However, when you talk about working down the numbers in reducing that effective annual fee, I can see how you would break even, but I have a hard time seeing how you're going to get a ton of value on this card, which is why I'm putting it in the C tier on this list. Up next is the premium card from Citi and American Airlines. This is the Executive World Elite MasterCard. It comes with a $595 annual fee and 70,000 American Airlines miles as a sign-up bonus. You'll get Admirals Club membership for yourself and 2 guests, a $120 TSA pre-check credit, the first check bag free for you and 8 others on your reservation, early boarding, a $120 credit back on Avis or budget rent-a-car purchases, and $10 a month back through Grubhub. Unfortunately, this credit card is, in my opinion, a bunch of benefits disguised around an Admirals Club pass. Now again, like the United Club card, that could be a really interesting benefit for those of you who find yourselves constantly waiting in layovers, maybe before a flight, wanting to take advantage of the free food and drink in those spaces. For those of you who do that, I could see some real value being worked through on this card. However, for the typical person, compared to some other options out there at the high investment rate that this card is going to take, I actually don't see it returning that much value for what a premium travel card should be. Comparing it to the United Club card, I see it as being a very similar offering, but with a $70 higher annual fee. Therefore, I'm putting it 1 tier lower into the D tier. The last airline credit card that I'm going to analyze for you today is the Delta SkyMiles Reserve card from American Express. This card has a $650 annual fee. It comes with a sign-up bonus that tops out at about 100,000 SkyMiles. And it only earns 3x on Delta purchases and 1x on everything else. Now the benefits list, like its little brother, the SkyMiles Platinum, is quite long, so stick with me. You'll get your first check bag free, Zone 5 priority boarding, a companion certificate after 1 year, which is the buy one, get one, for flights within the US, Caribbean, and Mexico on tickets all the way up to first class reservations. Complimentary upgrade list where you have priority over the lower tier SkyMiles Platinum card if the opportunity arises, a global entry and TSA pre-check credit, as well as lounge access across Sky Club, Centurion, and Escape lounges. You also get the 15% off award bookings, $200 in Delta Stays credit, $120 in Resi credits broken up monthly, $120 in rideshare credits, Hertz President Circle status, and cell phone protection. Now, this card is still a little bit harder, in my opinion, to get good value from compared to the SkyMiles Platinum because the annual fee took such a jump. However, it is the only SkyMiles card with lounge access. I think there's something to be said there. The companion certificate could save you a ton of money if you like to fly in some of those elevated classes, including first class. $200 in Delta stays shouldn't be hard to burn through, and between these and some of the other benefits around it, you can really burn down that effective annual fee, plus enjoy some of the premium benefits and travel experiences that people who want this card are going to expect out of it. I truly appreciate what this card has to offer, and though it may not be the best value play on this list of cards today, it is still an impressive card in my mind, which is why I'm placing it into the B tier on this list. Now, if that was a lot of information, I get it. Trust me, it was a lot for me to go through and communicate to you as well. But in short, Delta airline cards are fairly good. United has a bit of a mixed bag. Southwest is good for companion pass and not much value individually. And American Airlines cards, unless you're a unique American Airlines loyalist, are a bit of a letdown. Don't sleep on that Alaska card though, and I'm very excited to see what they come out with for their premium travel credit card. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please let me know where you disagree, agree, or think I'm totally off on these rankings down below. And I appreciate every single one of you who stuck around till the end.